I received an email this morning, or maybe it was yesterday afternoon, from a lady in Cairns who wrote to me and said, I'm not really understanding what Mojo Mingle is. Are there any events happening near me? I can't find any. So, firstly, I wanted to address the issue that people don't understand what Mojo Mingle is. It was way back in 2015 that I started hosting some social events in my hometown of Geelong as a way to explore the local area and get to meet some people. 2 years after that, I thought this is actually a great way that people who don't like doing online dating can meet up. So I created Mojo Mingle. At the time, it was called Organic Fusions. And I planned a calendar of events where single people could come and meet up and meet other people and do fun activities. And I would say that probably 20% of people who expressed interest in coming out to singles events actually took action and came out to those singles events. So, what did this tell me? This told me that 80% of single people that say they want to meet singles and not use dating apps are in some other kind of state which isn't helping them to meet single people and find people to date and enjoy the process of finding love. During the pandemic, I had to take a break from hosting events. So before the pandemic, I was probably doing 4 to 5 social events per week in my local area. And it was exhausting, but I loved it. I loved connecting people and I learned a lot from the people who joined us. What I noticed at those events, though, were that some people were quite confident and energetic and they shared their energy with the other people at the event, and they would go and talk to multiple people and exchange contact details and tee up dates. And that's how Mojo Mingle was designed, for people to meet up, enjoy doing an activity with other people, make some connections, and catch up with people beyond the event. But what actually happened was majority of people would come to the singles event and they would be shy, reserved, unsure what to do. They were being polite, they weren't really showing their personality, and they would miss opportunities to tee up catch ups with people outside of the event. And so I actually started including icebreakers into the events so that I would personally introduce people at the events and I'd give them tools to start making conversations and start connecting. And I would encourage people to move around and I'd say, okay, it's time to shift and move to the next person or go and change groups. And I became more of a facilitator at these events because people like instructions. Now, if you need any proof on that, I can tell you that for the last 42, 43 days, I have been going to some yoga classes. And about every 30 seconds or every minute, we get a new instruction in the class. It might be raise your arms up and down, do lunges, do this. And the instructor is constantly encouraging us and giving us feedback on how to improve the actions that we're doing. And that became my role in hosting social events. I became more of a coach, a facilitator, someone to introduce people to each other, to encourage them to go and talk to someone new, to encourage them to use the tool of asking open-ended questions, to encourage people to move around and to be their dorky, silly self and to own their flaws and not fear judgment. And the best way that I could do that at events was to show up myself as being someone who was grounded, yet also a bit strange or quirky. And sometimes I said things that might not have been politically correct. I made a lot of jokes. I ensured that everyone could relax and mingle with ease. Now, as I said, during the pandemic, I wasn't able to host the events, but I knew all of this work that I had to do at events in order to ensure that everyone could participate in social events on the same energy level. And during the pandemic, I started to study life coaching and I signed up to a lot of dating coaching programs. I practiced a lot of dating skills. I also started a diploma in counseling, and I've done a lot of work for my business in terms of learning about marketing and sales as well. So all of these skills and all of this knowledge helps me to be a dating coach now. So I sometimes host social events in person in different places, depending on where I'm traveling to. And I do host events in the online space, which is a great way for you to meet people and to practice your dating and communication skills. I also do workshops and I run a membership based program with group coaching. And inside that membership, people have access to different courses and resources that help them to improve their mindset and to develop their skills in connection, communication, in dating, in finding love, in learning about themselves and valuing themselves and being their authentic self. And twice a month with my membership, my VIP members, we meet up and we have group coaching calls. And we have a lot of fun practicing, sharing stories, and talking about the actions that we've taken in the last couple of weeks and what goals we have that we're going to action on. And people can ask for any tips and guidance. And I try my best to help to guide people on their journey towards finding love. So, Mojo Mingle caters for a lot of different things that single people are aiming towards, whether it's getting out of your comfort zone and feeling more comfortable with meeting new people and engaging in interesting conversations, or perhaps you're someone who is using dating apps and you're very frustrated with the experience on dating apps. I also help people to overcome some mindset blocks and to develop skills to actually find the types of people that they want to be connecting with on apps. And I help them to engage in conversation that eventually leads to meeting up for a meeting, a first date, a zero date, whatever you want to call it. I also host my all time favorite singles event, which is called the Offline Valentine Experience. Now, at the moment, this is only happening in capital cities around Australia. It doesn't happen every year. It takes a lot of time and energy and resources to plan, so I don't do it that often. But this event is where I bring all of my knowledge and skills and experience together into the one event. And I do matchmaking for people that come to this event. So if people are interested in meeting singles face to face, they come to the offline Valentine experience. If people are interested in being introduced to someone who they're highly likely to want to end up in a relationship with, like they're very compatible, perhaps they've got similar values, similar life goals, similar life habits, um, perhaps they have a preference for a certain body shape. If they're a really good match, then I can pair them up, but it does take a lot of understanding and research, background, information collecting. And once I've got all that information, then I can start pairing people up for the event. And I can't remember what else I was going to say, but this is just to sort of summarize what Mojo Mingle is all about. The ultimate goal of Mojo Mingle is to help people fall in love, to help people find love, loving yourself, loving life, enjoying what you're up to. And ultimately, once you have found love for yourself and you love life, then that I see is the easiest path to finding love with someone else, to finding someone special and falling in love. Now, just to backtrack, one last thing. When people come to the Offline Valentine Experience, which is the event where I do matchmaking and pair people up, they are given a set of the famous 36 questions, which are scientifically proven to create love and connection. Now, I give people these questions and they sit down in pairs for about an hour. So they're with the same person or the same people for the full hour. And they get to use these questions as part of a sharing game. And as I said, these questions are known to create a level of connection, some closeness and intimacy. So if someone is matched with someone who's highly compatible and a great chance for them to enter into a relationship beyond the event, and they get this tool for connection, then in my world, that's like the best recipe for finding love. And so I'm super excited about the Offline Valentine experience. But I know a lot of people want to just experience the 36 questions without having to invest in the time that it takes to go to the Offline Valentine experience, the money, the cost of the ticket to actually attend the event. A lot of people are kind of lazy and they can't be bothered putting in the effort to get dressed up and come out to an event for 3 hours. Maybe they don't want to sit in traffic for half an hour before they get to an event. I know a lot of people have different excuses and reasons for not showing up. So they don't make it to the offline Valentine experience. But I am also, I'm very excited and would just like to share the 36 questions with as many people as possible. So I do host a free event which happens online, and it's called Find Love in an Hour, and it's an introduction to the offline Valentine experience. If you go along to the Mojo Mingle website, you will be able to find on the calendar of events that this event happens sometimes once a month. You can grab a ticket to that one. It's free to register. Once you've got a ticket, I'll send you a link to join us at the event. And then you just come and you meet some new people. You get to experience the magic of the 36 questions. And then if you've got any questions about coming to the offline Valentine experience, or maybe if you've got questions about my coaching service, you're more than welcome to ask those during the Find Love in an Hour free event. So from here, I would like you to go and have a look at the Mojo Mingle website. If you're not clear on what Mojo Mingle does, have a look through the different pages. Take your time to understand, like read what I've put on there, look at the videos, look at the event calendar, look at the testimonials of people who have come to my events or used my services and gotten great results. There's even some photos of a couple who met at one of my events and got married. So there's a lot of success that happens in Mojo Mingle, and it's not always happening at events. There have been people who follow me on social media, and they quite often send me direct messages or messages in Instagram telling me that I've helped them quite a lot in their search for finding love, and they're very grateful, and I've had invitations to go to their weddings. So that is why I do this, because I know that I'm making a difference in people's lives, and I would love to help you to find love and, love yourself, love life, and find someone else to love as well. So go have a look at my website, mojomingle.com.au. Cheers.